Hello. Oh, we're going to do it again, Nora.
Welcome
Back.
to
Hello.
no episode.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Welcome
Back.
to
Episode
20
of
of
Gel
Gel
and
and
Tell.
Tell. Woo! Welcome back, everyone. Did you miss us? I bet you did.
Who wouldn't miss us?
I know. We're just lovely.
What's the title of today's episode, Nora?
Are we all just making it up as we go? I think we are.
End of episode. Brilliant. Yeah, are we all just making it up as we go? So that is what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah,
it kind of is what it says on the tin. But before we jump in, let's do a little weekly recap.
Yeah.
How has the last week been in the world of Nora?
It's been really good. I feel very positive. It's been really good in terms of gel as well. We've had some exciting things happen in the last week. I had an in-person check-in with my coach on weekend. 2.5 weeks out now. I cannot believe how fast the weeks are passing at the moment.
Oh, that's crazy. 2.5 weeks doesn't feel like long at all, does it?
No, but I'm not going to panic. We're chill. We're fine.
We're
How are
chill.
you?
We're calm. Cortisol
Yeah.
levels down. Yeah, I am good. I am good. Business-wise, things have been in a really exciting spot the last week. I think we've had probably a record week of inquiries and sales calls and everything, which has been just so exciting and
just mad.
Yeah, but really grateful, and it's just shows that that consistency and doing exactly what we tell other people to do really does work, which I always just feel really grateful and excited about.
Yeah,
excited for this one, to be honest. I feel like it's gonna I kind of don't know what to expect. We have no idea what we're going to talk about today, just to put it out there. We haven't prepped what things we're going to chat on or anything like this. We've got a few ideas of maybe some questions we might ask each other, but we haven't pre-prepared anything. So this conversation could go anywhere or nowhere. So I guess that is kind of
you might get a rapish episode, but
then I think that is kind of quaint because it is called Are We All Just Making Up As We Go Along? And that is exactly what this episode is going to be.
What do you think, though? Are we making it up as we go?
Well, we always are.
Yeah, that's standard.
I live my life as winging it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not very good at planning and organising anyway, so I may as well just take each day as it comes, do things based on how it makes me feel, or not do things at all.
Yeah.
Make it up as I go. There are certain things that I do because I know that they work, but in general, I think everyone is making it up as they go.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really has it all figured out. I think it would be impossible to.
You can't control all of the variables and factors around you. Even if you have the perfect plan for anything.
Yeah.
So whether that's a fitness plan or a business plan or a life plan or a route when you're driving somewhere, you cannot control other people around you or those environmental other factors. So you have to kind of make it up as you go.
Yeah, 100%. It's funny though to say that because we are also, both of us are quite control freaks.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, you are. You pretend you're not, but you are. You are. Why are you smiling like that?
I just don't know. I feel like I have some real type A characteristics, but some real type B ones as well.
You're your own type.
I think it's just a real amalgamation of I don't even know what. I don't think I do fit into the type A category.
Yeah.
But I also have some things that I don't know, maybe it's I couldn't even put a pin on it. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. But I feel like the thing is we care about very different things. So about things that I don't care, you care a lot. And about things that you don't care, I care a lot. No. Did I say the same thing? You get what I mean.
But that's why we're yin to yang.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why it works, because the things that stress me out shit you sort out, and then vice versa.
Yeah fair.
So it's really helpful because it just levels any level of anxiety that's going on in the room, because the other one thinks that's nothing to worry about, let me sort it.
Yeah, the difference is, right, making it up as you go does not mean not having a strategy about how you take the action, right? But I think for me it's all about just giving it a go regardless if you feel ready for it or not. you know, and like going with the flow. And if something happens, like being adaptable and like, taking quick action. That's what that is for me.
I love that. And I think there is a bit of a myth, especially when you spend a lot of time on social media, that everybody else has got it all figured out. So like if you follow like other creators, influencers, business owners, brands, any even just like people from like, you know, school or whatever, you might look at their page and be like, Jesus, like they've got this perfect life plan, like everything's going so well for them. Oh, they're so lucky, like they know exactly what they're doing, like, you know, they've done everything in the right conventional order, like all this kind of stuff, because things typically do look more polished online. Like we are choosing what we share.
Yeah.
But the reality is behind the scenes, most of these people haven't got Scooby-Doo what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And like it is all about like they share all of the highlights. What you don't see is the times where they struggle and they have to figure things out.
But then ironically, do you not think when anyone ever shares like their vulnerable struggles and stuff, then they get loads of heat? So it's like people are like complaining on one hand that you're sharing the highlight reel. And then as soon as someone posts a video of them like crying or complaining or showing like how vulnerable they're feeling and like how hard things are, then they get loads of shit from people being like, oh, well, you've got it so easy. How can you find that? Like, you don't know what it's like to be XYZ. Like this influencer's crying because they didn't get their workout in, and like they're so privileged because they don't have children, or like, you know, like you can't win because you either share the perfect polish and you're like inspirational and people are like, oh, you're so lucky, or you share like the vulnerable, oh, it's so hard, and then everyone gives you shit because you're complaining because you I do think it's a really difficult landscape.
It is. I think when you're putting yourself out there, you're gonna get both. You're gonna get both people that love you and both people that don't, and that's part of it.
It goes.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah. You're not everyone's cup of tea.
No, we're definitely not.
No.
But we might be someone's spicy margarita. I would much rather be that. Do you think that like comparison on social media ever makes you feel like you're behind?
You mean seeing others that might be doing better than us or me? Or yes and no. I get inspired by people that do better than me, and I don't know if it's because of where my mindset is at the moment. I think you have nothing to gain by comparing yourself with someone in a negative way, but instead look at that comparison and be like, ooh, how do I get there? Like, I'm so inspired by them, you know? I think you have more to gain with that approach.
And would you say you apply that approach all the time?
I would say so. I think so. Maybe it wasn't the case years ago, but I mean, I've started sharing my fitness journey like, I don't know, probably 10 years ago now. So I've been sharing on social media for quite a bit of time. Possibly back then I was more affected by it as I am now. I'm not as affected by others now when I use social media. And maybe it came with like the years of just being online and sharing my journey online, whether that's in a fitness setting or a business setting. Yeah, potentially it's just putting in the reps and just improving on that. But we know a lot of people that struggle with that.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and be like, I don't look at other people's stuff and always I feel inspired by it. I'm not saying I'm like envious or I'm like, oh, I need like that, or I'm like, I don't feel negatively towards them, but I can feel negatively about myself. 100%.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not resentful of other people's success, but looking at someone else's success can make me feel like shit. And I can't sit here and say that I was inspired by it, because that would be not true.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I do subconsciously. I don't know. It's not something that I've felt recently.
Yeah, but I think that's great, by the way, Nora. I think it's really inspiring. I don't think you should feel bad. And I think it's
now you make me think like, should I?
Maybe. No, you shouldn't. I think it's amazing. And I think that you have like such great, like, you know, positive mindset towards these things, and you're super confident, which is fab. Like, I think it's great, and don't change that. I just don't get like, if I like, but I think everyone's different, and it's not because I like I said, it's not like coming from a place of like resentment or like like I know when I see certain things, like if I wanted to, I could get there. So I don't treat it as like, oh, it's they're lucky, or like they don't deserve that, I deserve that, blah blah, because I know that you get out what you put in. But it doesn't mean that like the comparison isn't the thief of joy.
Yeah.
And there are
I don't know if it's to do with bodybuilding, no, because when I think about it, with bodybuilding, right, you could do everything in your power possible, right, to do everything right, train the best, eat everything on plan, do the posing rounds, like get super shredded, still go on stage and be beaten by someone who's just better genetically or better than you in general with physique, right? So I have learned to de-associate from comparing myself to others in that sense, because what matters to me is how much I've progressed with my journey and the person that I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And I've learned to be more content with that than the comparison around me. And I think that sports does that to you, because if you're super obsessed with how other people look, you're not going to go far. So I don't know if I apply that in other areas of my life, including like sharing on social media and stuff as well.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because my view of bodybuilding is that you are stood there being compared to each other. So it's really interesting to hear your perspective on basically like you can't think about that, because if you think about that, then it will make you less successful, even though that is innately what the sport is, comparing your body against other bodies. So you've got to kind of distance from that to be good at it.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's where most people fail. Like, you have people coming up to shows and literally looking at their competition on Instagram like weeks before, and like looking how they're progressing and comparing themselves. What do you think that does to them? I have zero idea who's going to be on my show days, because I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care, because I'm so proud of how far I've come that I shouldn't care about who else is there on the day. No matter of the placing, I know I'm proud of the work that I've put in and the discipline that I've shown and the resilience that I've built.
Yeah, because if you've all put in the same amount of work and like all of the stuff, and you've got all the variables under control, then yeah, you're right, you can't control that. But that is kind of interesting if you think about the topic of the episode. Are we all just making up as we go? Because in the case of bodybuilding, the answer would be no, you're not making up as you go, because you're following a very rigid structure and coaching plan.
From a plan, yes. From a giving it a go. Ask me 2 years ago, would I ever be competing and stepping on stage? My answer would be no. It's just one thing that I just make up as I go. Starting this process in February, I was not sure I would actually step on stage. I was just like, you know what, let's get a bit lean and see. But then my confidence grew with it. And yeah, I'm just going to go for it and see.
Yeah. But what I mean is like you're following a very like you're not making up the variables or the plan.
No.
You're sticking with the thing. So you're not winging anything when it comes to this. Like all of your like controllables you've got in lockstep. Like I think if someone was winging it, they wouldn't get anywhere near being on stage, because you have to be quite disciplined and
on it.
You know, it's that nature of the sport. Unlike maybe some other kind of sports where you could probably just wing it and get through. You're not going to win or be amazing, but like if you wanted to, you could just go and wing a high rocks.
Yeah,
it would be very uncomfortable. You probably wouldn't enjoy it, and you might get a shit time. Not that there's any shit times, there are shit times, but you could wing it and you could get round, because you could walk, you could like push through, but you couldn't do that on a bodybuilding show.
Oh, you could. I mean, I saw on Instagram the other day someone was lost a bet on football fantasy or something.
No, they didn't just go on stage, did they? Wait, can we find it and show it?
I don't know where it is. And they just literally went with no prep whatsoever and stepped on stage next to all these like other bodybuilders that have done like months of prep. That's him.
But then, has he gone viral?
Possibly. I mean, I just saw it on a random reel and I thought, you know what? That takes a lot of courage to do that. You know, that is impressive.
But so anyone can step on stage then?
Yeah.
So shall I enter one of your shows?
Okay, to anyone who's listening, vote below in the comments. Should Georgia do a bodybuilding show with me?
And we all just know that this would like really cripple my self-confidence. So like, let's not do that. Nora, I don't even like being in a bikini on the beach, let alone on stage in a line of women.
Well, let me see if I enjoy being on stage first as well.
It's not happening. I'm just putting it out there. That's like the time I said I'd get a tattoo on my arse if England won the World Cup.
You did say that in a client call as well, guys. They
liked it. They like fun.
Yeah, and then they were sending in our Slack channel different tattoos that Georgia could get.
But then the funny thing is, I'd have had to get my arse out on a client meeting, wouldn't I? Forever on my tattoo if England won the World Cup. So yeah, I think it probably would have been on the podcast too, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And then would you have chanted "It's coming home"?
No.
So it would have been really quiet and just a bum cheek on screen.
So you would have done that, being on a podcast, it would have gone live, but yet you find that's less daunting than stepping on a bodybuilding stage. Really? Fair play.
I mean, you would have your bum cheeks out on bodybuilding stage, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, can you think about a time where you were absolutely making something up as you went along? So maybe think about it in regards to gel. So what is a gel moment where you feel like we were just fully winging it in the last year?
Just say we're winging it, and always, to be honest. We're just not in the sense that we are unprepared or don't know what we're doing, but we took a massive risk starting gel and going fully at it, right? And there has been an element of uncertainty and winging it to get to where we are and have the success that we have had, because we've both been willing to just test things and make it up and but I think we did do that with confidence. We were making it up, but we're confident about making it up and going for it and winging it, which meant that we showed up with energy and tried things even when we felt like maybe this might not work.
Yeah.
Which then got us to where we are.
But the things that you say we were making up, what would they even be, really? Because they are things that we've been working on or around for 5-6 years. So it's not like we've ever taught anything that we hadn't done before or we hadn't tried or whatever. But more, do you think when we were setting things up, I guess we weren't ready, but we just went for it. We didn't know who our clients would be. We didn't know where our clients were going to come from. We didn't know exactly what our offers were going to look like, but we just started.
Yeah, we just started. Examples, we pivoted 2 months into the business. We were doing systems now, then switched to marketing, then switched to business consulting, which is we pivoted twice.
Yeah, or maybe the irony is more in our positioning than actually what we deliver, because we still build the marketing systems, but we don't sell them at the forefront of our positioning and our socials, because people were still coming to us for help with their social media and marketing, even when we were trying to build them CRM systems. So now they come to us because they want help to get leads through social media, and then we still build them their marketing systems that they need, but they don't know that they need. So it's weird, but it kind of landed like that. But you're right, we did pivot technically twice. So if you've been following us for a long time, you might have noticed. You might not as well.
Yeah.
So we kind of did that, which were we winging it? I suppose in a way. But one thing that we're quite hot on and that we're very specific with clients on is tracking numbers. So we've always looked at the data, whether that's on our Instagram insights, on our sales, on our monthly revenue, on retention, or whatever we're looking at to make decisions. So even though we might be feeling like we're kind of making it up as we go, we make data-driven decisions based on our risks, because we do take risks and we do try things, even if we don't know they're going to work, because that is what marketing and business is, right? You can't guarantee any success when you post something, when you put an offer out, when you do a sales call. You can't say with 100% confidence it's going to work. So you just have to go with it, with that confidence and conviction. And then track the numbers and make decisions based on that.
Yeah, true. There were elements to setting up the business, though, that we did. It's not necessarily winging it, but we made it up. I think winging it and making it up as you go is slightly different. In the sense that winging is kind of just doing it without thinking about it, whereas making it up as you go is it doesn't mean that you're not taking informed decisions, but it's more you're going with the flow and just figuring it out. If that makes sense. That's the difference to me in my head. I think we were making it up as we go when it came to the whole setting up of the business, how to get our contracts in place together, even hiring team members, all of that stuff. We can't say that we felt 100% confident doing any of it, but then we did it and we figured it out as we went on, and obviously we had each other, I think, which is a big plus.
100%
compared to doing it by yourself. But that wasn't stuff that we used to do in our previous roles as much. There was HR and all that contractual, all of that more admin-y operation stuff was things that we had to figure out.
We used to just be able to be right, I'm hiring this person. Lisa, can you now do X, Y, Z? And then there would be someone that would do the kind of nuts and bolts bits around contracts, finances, accounts, bookkeeping, stuff that's really important in a business. But when you are someone that's focused on growing it, you're not necessarily akin to all of the intricate bits in the middle. So we've definitely made it up as we went, learned as we went along, I guess. I think with pricing as well, that's something that we were kind of making up at the start, because we didn't know when we were starting the business what to charge. Not because we didn't know our value, but because we hadn't built the brand up. We hadn't got any clients. So we've spoken about this before, but we massively undercharged for our first probably 10 clients. just to get some results in, just to get moving, just to get some revenue in. Because if we'd have shot for the price that we pitch now as a brand new business with no Instagram following, with no clients in our roster, with no experience in that brand, we'd have no signups and we wouldn't be where we are today. So as much as like, yes, charge your worth, like be realistic about where you're at. Like if you don't have a portfolio or any like receipts, like check yourself and get some before you start ranking the prices up, because it's just not how you can do it. So we did make that up as we went. I'd say we'd incrementally increase the price over time. And we still probably sometimes doubt whether we're even charging enough now, but it's a lot more than where it was when we began.
100%. That would be another one for sure. What else did we do?
The podcast, where we decided we were going to do a podcast and launched it on the same day as the conversation of should we just do it today? We hadn't planned it.
No.
We'd spoken about it and we had like the name for a few months because I know you were so desperate to do it and I was like, meh.
Because I think like I just thought that people would find our conversations quite entertaining.
And I was just like, I guess this is a good example of like, we're not ready for that yet. But that was like a self-limiting belief of like, at what point are you ready to do anything? Because I was just like, oh yeah, but we're only at this point in the business. We've only been operating for like 4 months or 5 months or whatever it was. Like, why would anyone want to listen to us? Blah, 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 blah. All these like excuses and reasons that were just kind of like irrelevant in the scheme of like actually starting. Because now we're like 20 episodes deep. And it's so cool to think one day we can look back on these and like hear and listen to the story.
And there's some really, really great episodes as well that, you know, like we do go back and listen to at times.
Yeah, it's quite cute, isn't it? Just a good reminder of like where we started and where we're going. And it'll be like a little documentary of our journey. But yeah, we definitely were making this, or we still are making this up as we go. We don't know what we're going to film next week. We'll chat about it, come up with some ideas, and then on the day, like today, be like, yeah, let's do it on that. We'll bring in a guest with like 24 hours notice. We're not like prepping this months in advance because frankly, we don't have the time to. And it's meant to be a bit of fun.
Yeah, but also I think like the feedback that we get from you guys at least is the ones that you enjoy the most are the ones where we're just being ourselves really. So just doing it as you go and not overthinking it is a big part of why I think the podcast has been good so far.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
I do think like making it up as we go also has a big element to that is like overcoming imposter syndrome with so many things as well. So like not letting your thoughts stop you from taking action. And that's the thing that we see with so many people, isn't it? Like think, oh, I wish I could do this, or
it's really brave that you set up your own business.
Yeah. Or, you know, like it's, oh, I will do it, but I just need to work on this a bit more and like for it to be perfect. There's no perfect. Like whatever you do, I'm a huge believer in this, whether it's business, life, fitness, whatever that is, you will look back at that thing 10 years from now, right? And you will think, I could have improved on this, this, and this. Because you grow as a person as you go. You will never be 100% happy with something. There's no perfect in my in my brain, because there's always progress to be made.
Done beats perfect because perfect never gets done.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the beauty of like making it up as you go, is like you take action no matter how you feel. And no matter if you feel that uncertainty or that it's not perfect or that you're not prepped enough for it or you're not good enough for it or Yeah,
because you never will be.
No.
Ready, good enough, perfect. So just fucking do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. Very true.
Is there anything that you do daily to help you manage making it up as you go, or like, just deal with the uncertainty of it? Or what traits do you think you have as a person that allow you to be fine with making it up as you go?
I just don't really care that much. So like, I feel like I just have a bit more like of a YOLO mentality to a lot of things. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, like when we're going through like something together in business, like I'll always do like, right, let's look at the worst case scenario here. Like, what is the worst thing that can happen? They get pissed off, they leave, they put something on the internet about us. Like, I'll like play out all the worst ones. And then I'm like, it's not that deep. No one's hurt. No one's dead. We're okay. Like, we've not broken the law. Like, you know, like you kind of go through. So I'm like, it sounds almost a bit pessimistic, but like, I'll literally play it out and be like, if that is the worst case scenario, I've been through a lot worse than that, so it's fine. So I'm just like, in that sense, like it's not that deep. So I try and like be realistic in that kind of headspace, and then not get as emotionally attached to it by just like logically playing out the scenarios. That's how I handle quite a lot of things, especially if something like catches me off guard and it makes me feel like I'm having an emotional reaction. Like someone says something that maybe is a little bit abrasive or like offensive in whatever way, I like check it, play it out, and then we'll always discuss it as well and communicate.
Yeah.
And both of us, I think, are like, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
And if it is that deep, then we will make a plan to action it and to figure out what the best next case scenario is. And then if I really don't know what to do, there are certain people in our like ecosystem of network and, you know, trusted confidants and friends and mentors and stuff that we reach out to and ask.
Yeah.
What about you?
I wouldn't say I don't care, because
You do.
I do.
Yeah.
However, I have learned to, I mean, you know this about me anyways, like whenever I read books, I read a lot of self-development books, and I read this book, I believe it was The Chimp Paradox. I think you don't like that book, do you? I remember you telling me. Yeah. But then was it The Chimp Paradox? Maybe. But then it was talking about like how like you can control your thoughts before they become like emotional and like emotion. So now whenever something happens, I really try to be not emotional about them until I think about what's the actual situation and then choose how to react to it. So I think that's helped with like making things up, is I don't let myself like panic instantly, if that makes sense. I just do it, or try and like rationalize it before I emotionally react to it. Sometimes it doesn't work.
But you know, nobody's perfect, Nora. You are an emotional.
I'm a sensitive stuff.
You are a very sensitive, emotional being, but it's also what makes you you, and it's what's special about you. But yeah, I think that's completely fair.
Yeah.
And that I think is interesting, the one of our yin to yang differences. It's not that I'm not emotional, but I'm emotional in a different way to you. So like how like like one situation could like ignite absolute like rage in me and like sadness in you. So like, and then we like sort of balance it out and figure out what we're going to do moving forward. So like, as you can imagine, like I'm effing and jeffing, and then Nora is like sad. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is that no one intervenes when these situations happen. Like neither Josh or Gio get involved, and like we just figure it out.
We always figure it out, and that's such a blessing of having.
But it's so funny when we're in that situation. We both know that it's funny as well, right?
Trying to figure it out, but it's always like, yeah, it's interesting, and that is definitely a case of are we all just making it up as we go? Because at the end of the day, like everyone is human. Like anyone that runs a business or is a client or whatever, you know, they're all humans, and we're all dealing with our own like shit, our own baggage, our own emotions, experiences, triggers, whatever. So you just never know how someone's going to respond to something. So you do have to kind of make it up as you go when you trigger someone, or when something triggers you.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the perfect response. If you make someone cry on a call, which I have unfortunately done way too many times in my career, which is fucking annoying, but classic. Have you ever made anyone cry?
I think once or twice. But like, guys, for those listening, it wasn't like a bad thing. It's just like people somehow open up to us, don't they? Like naturally.
Yeah.
And sometimes the conversation gets like a lot more deeper and more emotional unexpectedly, and then people really just feel comfortable crying.
Yeah, it's like the Louis Theroux episode when they're in the church in America.
I haven't seen that, but yeah, I feel like we've both experienced that. The thing with me is I get very awkward when people cry. Like I don't know how to react.
You just gotta let them. You just gotta let them do their thing, and then
it's fine.
It's the benefit of having a screen as well, is that like you can just give them a bit of time.
And
you can wait for them to come round, and then you can. Yeah. It's like it doesn't happen regularly. It's not really happening.
No, it doesn't happen regularly. We don't make people cry for a living.
No. Definitely.
But we have had, bless them, people that feel comfortable to do so.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's where you get the most like in business as well, like the what's it called? Aha moments. Yeah,
because it is hard and it's lonely, and like there are moments where you just need a little cry, and we've been there, you know, like sometimes it just gets quite overwhelming and you're like trying to figure something out and you don't know the answer, and there are quite a lot of occasions, I'd say probably coming up to like even once a week, random things in our business that we don't have the answers to. And what we don't do is just rush make a decision. There are a few things at the moment which we are mulling over. And we have had one of these mulls over for at least 6 weeks, where we were thinking, we're going to launch this new product. And we started work on it. And then like we had some conversations, and rather than just go full steam ahead on it, we've just paused and sat on it, and we're just continually discussing it to figure out, is this actually what we want to do, and is this the right thing to do? And I think that like that's also okay. So even when you are making it up as you go, you don't always have to like go at a million miles an hour. You can press pause. We don't have the answers, but we will learn and figure out the answer on our timeline, because that's the beauty of this, is that we decide. No one is telling us, you have to launch this now, you need to have a new this, you need to do that. We decide because it's up to us. But we don't know the answers.
No. Yeah, so true.
Essentially what we've landed on is action always precedes clarity, right? You're never going to get it perfect, so you just got to get shit done. We know that you can sit down and plan things out forever. You can spend 2 days building flowcharts and diagrams and never use them. And ultimately, most of the answers are going to come from actually doing the thing rather than thinking about the thing, which is what we see time and time again.
Yeah, 100%. So what's your takeaway of the week?
My takeaway of the week is it's okay to take a beat and think about something and not have to respond straight away, which is something that I'm actively trying to work on, because I always think without speaking. No, speak without thinking. I'm really bad for digesting, holding, and then speaking. I normally just like, which can sometimes mean that I say the wrong thing at the wrong time. So I think my reflection on this conversation is it's okay to take a bit more time before making decisions, even if you are making it up as you go. Like, you can take action, but you can take measured action and take your time to take those actions rather than rushing and hanging by the string of your pants. What about you? What's your takeaway of the week?
Just give it a go. Like an example, we've been talking about putting out an offer for months. Months. And we did it this week, and it's paid off because we have so many amazing new people coming through the door, so many amazing business owners. And it's not that we didn't think that we would, but I think, you know, it's another example of like practice what we preach, you know, like we do what we advise our clients to do. Do we feel confident all of the time? No. But do we do it anyways? Yeah. And that's what I love about us. Yeah, I think we both have a similar mentality in that sense.
Sure.
So yeah, it's been a good week proving that.
Yeah, I love it. And if you're listening to this and you feel like everyone around you has it all figured out and that you're a bit behind, or you're not good enough, or you don't want to start yet, just remember that most people are truly making it up as they go, including us. So just start messy, learn quickly, ask for help, and keep moving.
100%. Awesome.
Cool.
Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this little episode, and we'll catch you on the next one. Make sure that you rate the podcast 5 stars on Spotify. And if you are watching this on YouTube, subscribe for more and put a comment. We love seeing your comments on the podcast. And tell us what you thought about this episode. And we'll catch you on episode 21.
Woo! Thank you. Bye-bye.